You're listening to Skeptoid. I'm Brian Dunning from Skeptoid.com.
Was Chuck Yeager the first?
Oops, sorry about that. No, which one is it? Okay, let me try this one.
The Skeptic Zone, a miracle of technology. A universe of reason, the Skeptic Zone.
Welcome to the Skeptic Zone, show number 32 for the 29th of May. Richard Saunders with you. A bit of a short show this week. I'm flying down to Melbourne together with Dr. Rachie, Kylie Sturgis and Dave the Happy Singer to give some talks, so we haven't got much time to put together a show. However, I did manage to catch up with Moriel Schottlender, otherwise known as Mooey Poo, for an interview. So sit back, relax, have a cup of tea, and enjoy my talk with Moriel. Moriel Schottlender from New York, otherwise known as Mooey Poo, is a physics student with a passion for space and astronomy. In fact, she wants to be the first woman to land on the moon, and I'm sure she will be too. I spoke with Moriel a few days ago from Queens. And we're talking with Moriel right now on the line from New York City. New York City, isn't it, Moriel?
It is. It is. Actually, Queens, but that's still New York City.
Queens in New York City. Fantastic. I've never been to New York. I'd love to come and visit.
You should.
I should.
And it's starting the summer now, so it's very good weather.
Fantastic. Now, you've had a very interesting career on the internet and in skepticism, but you haven't been really around or active for too long, but you've certainly made an impact. When did you really get started with your adventures into science and the internet?
Actually, quite a long time ago, but I started in YouTube. I started with video debates on YouTube. There were questions asked and answered, and then I saw that there's a lot of interest in a lot of people that have questions about science or scientific subjects, and not a lot of them that really get answered. And I took that as a challenge, and I started putting up astronomy videos. And I saw that there's actually a lot of interest, and I was positively surprised, and I decided to take it a step further. And I started Smarter Than That, which is the experiment website. It's do-it-yourself experiments on YouTube with an accompanying site to explain all the experiments and to show how you can do it at home. And those experiments show you scientific phenomena that you can see for yourself, not research or believe scientists that you've never met before or you don't know. Just do it yourself. See for yourself and learn.
Yeah, no, I became hooked on those videos because I loved the one where you explain the speed of light in the microwave, and then that was all very funny. And then I couldn't believe my eyes. You were sort of almost half naked in the bath. Can you explain that one?
Right. Actually, it was at first meant as a like a joke, because I wasn't at all naked.
Oh, you've spoiled it now. I
know. I'm sorry to disappoint. I was almost naked though, if that helps.
Oh, that helps, yes.
But I was actually filming this with my roommate at the time, and I started explaining, and she had a lot of questions in the middle of the video, and it took me a while to explain to her that I don't mind explaining, but in order for me to actually film this, she needs to be quiet. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear her giggle in the background. And so as we were filming, there were more and more bubbles because we just had so many takes filming this while she was trying not to laugh, that there were so many bubbles that I started just covering myself, and it just created a very nice the effect.
Yes. Yes, I think that worked very well, because it's like, did she really go half naked in the bath to make this video? Or I'm not sure. That I thought that was very cute.
But that's one of the reasons that I started the other project that I started recently, smartaxe.com, which, by the way, it's an axe with an E at the end.
So SMARTAXE.
Right. I wanted to take SmartX without an E, but apparently it's some sort of medicine.
Oh.
Yes, and yeah. It kind of sounds like a medicine too, so I didn't want to go there. But only later I learned that you can actually spell it without an E. So
yeah.
Well, also recently we started in SmartX with a new project on Twitter called Asktronomy, where we have a few experts in astronomy, knowledgeable amateurs or actual experts who will answer your question in Twitter if you use the hashtag Asktronomy, which is ASKTRONOMY. So just do that and get your answers and participate in a debate about astronomy.
And if people want to follow you personally on Twitter, what's your Twitter name?
My Twitter name is Mooeypoo, and they're more than welcome to ask me questions and approach me there and follow me.
Mooeypoo. And that's spelt?
MOOEYPOO.
All right.
But that's one of the reasons this bath video that I decided also to go for that project, because I saw that the reaction for that video, for the Doppler effect video, where I'm starting it in the bathtub and I appear to be naked. The reactions were suddenly good from two levels. First, the usual target audience that is more, kid friendly. People really enjoyed it. I got a lot of emails from teachers that enjoyed the experiment and enjoyed the demonstration. But then I also got messages from just random people who saw me saw the beginning of the video. And thought it was really funny, and then just continued watching and got the science of it as in the back door.
Yes.
And I thought it was really cool, and I thought, what, this is a great opportunity to take advantage of a target audience that is usually hard to get to, because those are usually people who don't naturally go to the science stuff. Think that the science stuff is nerdy or geeky.
Yes. And then, but of course, you really won my heart with the little duckies. Little duckies in the bath.
And the mommy ducky, and yes.
Yeah, which is, I think, a delightful way to do the science experiments. What other videos did you put out there?
Well, recently I put one about weight and mass, which is funny because I already have one video about that, but it's not exactly. It's nothing bad, nothing too bad, but it's not kid-friendly. And I wanted to add something that is kid-friendly, because this is, that there are many misconceptions that are with weight and mass that started at a young age. And so I put it up recently and used the analogy of space travel, of orbit, where you are weightless, but you still have mass.
You still have the same mass, but your weight varies depending on if you're on the moon or Mars or Earth or whatever the case may be.
Listen up, fitness fans. It's physics time. Weight is not the same as mass. Mass, loosely speaking, is the amount of matter in an object. Weight is the force that the object is exerting on the ground. We measure that force using a scale. Weight is a multiplication of your mass and the force of gravity. If you increase or decrease any of these variables, your weight changes accordingly. The moon's gravity is 1/6 that of the Earth's. If you land on the moon, you will weigh 6 times less than you do on Earth. But your mass remains the same. The particles that make you didn't go anywhere. Your scale will show 1/6 of your original weight on Earth. If your goal is to lose weight, you just achieved it. But you can also reduce your weight without reducing your mass here on Earth. For example, Anytime you go down an elevator in a tall building, you are losing weight. While the elevator is accelerating, it is moving away from your feet, and you are essentially falling. When you go up a tall building, the elevator's acceleration is upwards, and you are pressed strongly against the floor, a situation that increases your weight. Quite a few amusement park rides use these principles to get your guts churning. But everyone knows that the best way to lose weight is to exercise and eat right. That is true only because exercise and nutrition will help you get rid of the massive fat in your body and, by that, decrease your weight. When you exercise, your body burns fat and builds muscle. Muscles are denser than fat and have more mass per unit volume. That's why it is typical to gain a bit of weight if your weight loss routine includes building muscle. You replace the lighter mass of fat with a denser and heavier mass of muscle. Your goal is to lose the fat, hence to lose mass. The result is that the scale is telling you that your weight is smaller, and weight is not the same as mass. The term weight loss is so ingrained in our society that it will be futile of me to try and get you to stop using it. That does not mean, however, that you can't understand the physics behind those terms. So remember, if your goal is to lose weight, ride down an elevator or jump off a plane with a parachute. If your goal is to be leaner, exercise and eat right, and get rid of that massive fat that surrounds your muscles. Alternatively, you can go live on the International Space Station, where weight is not really an issue. You know, I go to the gym, and there are a lot of people who, talk about losing weight. And I always say, well, you know what? If you want to lose weight, jump off an airplane with a parachute. That's a great way of losing weight. But the goal, is to lose the fat, the mass of fat. So that's a different thing altogether. So that's the recent video I put up. I'm hoping to put up a little bit more now that I'm no longer in a semester for a little while. I'm not sure what about yet. I have a few ideas.
Oh, I'm sure our listeners could send you some ideas. But I think what I enjoyed so much was meeting you for the first time at last year's amazing meeting, TAM 6. And I remember
that was great.
I was jet-lagged out of my brain, but I was going up an escalator and you were coming down to dinner or lunch or who knows what it was. And there you were. Oh, my goodness me, it's Mooey Poo. And then the next thing I know, you're dragging me outside to shove a cream pie in my face.
Oh, that was the highlight of TAM, I think.
It was for me.
But it was all for science, and it was great. We actually proved a few things there, right?
Can you let our listeners know exactly why you did, in fact, shove 2 cream pies in my face, in fact?
Do I really need to explain?
You do.
Scientifically, you mean?
Yes. Well, I mean, everyone wants to shove cream pies into my face, but you did it for science.
Exactly. And, yes, well, that was the excuse. Anyways, we wanted to see what goes on when you transfer a 3-dimensional body, like your face, in that example, onto a 2-dimensional plane, like a page. And we wanted to show that in order to show really that things like a Shroud of Turin, where you look at a piece of cloth and you see an actual face, as if, like, it doesn't look distorted. It looks as if you took a picture of someone. And we wanted to see if that's logical, if that's something that, if this shroud really did cover someone's face, and then we peel it off, would we see a normal face? So we used the cream on your face, and then with a piece of paper, and we saw that it was very amusing, but it didn't look like you, really.
It was very amusing. I remember, of course, it was Las Vegas in the middle of summer. We stepped outside to do this, and by the time you squashed the cream, which was really whipped cream on plates, into my face, it wasn't very long before that it all began to melt. And, yeah, that was great fun.
It was. I commend you for your effort to science.
Oh, anything for science. If our listeners would want to see me in my great moment there of getting the pie in the face, where can they go to see that video?
Oh, yeah, to smarterthanthat.com. It's right there on the front page.
smarterthanthat.com. I've got some wonderful photographs because we actually had a little audience there while we were doing it. That was so much fun. We walked outside and there was all these people were following us and they all stood around thinking, "What the hell?"
Of course, I think I was walking around telling people I'm going to shove a cake in your face, so everybody came.
Now, are you intending to go to TAM this year?
Yes, of course.
Of course you are. Actually,
Yes.
I knew you were, but it's nice to. Yes, and I only recently got myself together with finances and well, other sundry items, and I'm coming too. So we will have another blast. Maybe we can do some other crazy experiment. Maybe I can shove a cream pie in your face.
Well, maybe, but you'll need to find, an experiment to excuse it.
Let's see. We have to get an experiment with cream pies, half-naked people in a bathtub, and rubber duckies, and a microwave oven, and I think we're on the right track.
I agree. Perfect.
Now, you obviously really enjoy doing this work, this outreach, and I suppose that's what you really are doing, some really nice outreach. But what are you seriously involved with apart from that?
You mean in real life?
In real life, yeah.
There is a real life out there?
Apparently, I've been told.
Yeah, well, I'm a physics student in college. I'm hoping to get eventually. I'm about maybe 3/5 of the way towards finishing my first degree in physics. And when I'm done, I'm hoping to continue to astrophysics, PhD.
Wow.
And in any case, I'm going to continue doing these kind of things because I think this is very, very important. Very important, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I agree. I'm glad there's someone like you, and in fact, I'm probably embarrassed you slightly when I was speaking last year at the amazing meeting because one of the first things I did was point you out to the audience and say, "Here's Mooey Poo in the front row, and she's one of my heroes."
Right, I was very surprised. And thank you. But that was great, and it was great meeting you there. And it was the TAM is just amazing. It was my first time last year.
Me too.
Definitely not my last.
Well, yeah, it's if there are any listeners, and I know a couple of episodes ago on the Skeptic Zone we ran a promotion for TAM where James Randi did a little talk about what it's like. And I know Brian Dunning's been talking about how amazing it is to be there. But seriously, it's like nothing you've ever experienced. It's wall-to-wall skeptics, the big names of skepticism, incredibly good talks, parties, Las Vegas. And as I've said in the latest issue of the Skeptic magazine here in Australia, which I partly edit, I said, make sure you sell your car, your possessions, what's left of your soul, get to Las Vegas.
Absolutely. And you know what? The debates with people there is just unbelievable. It's just everybody's, you have the same attitude, but you have so many people with so many backgrounds, and it's just amazing. You meet so many nice people, and
And to
really
top
great.
it off, of course, you can spend time with James Randi, which is just fantastic.
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely. Well, everyone there, James Randi, Phil Plait, you.
you.
Yeah.
So, listeners, and if you're coming to TAM, great. If you're not coming to TAM, then take my advice and come to TAM. And make sure you do come up and say hello to myself and especially Moriel. How can they recognize you? Are you going to be walking around with a shirt that says it's me, Mooey Poo, or a big hat or something like that?
Well, they can look at the videos.
Yes.
I'm betting that now, after we've talked about this, the Doppler effect one, where I'm in the bathtub half naked, will probably get a lot of views now. I don't think I'm going to walk in TAM naked, but still, you can see from the videos. And,
Well, some of those parties get a bit wild, you know.
Well, we'll see.
No, I think you're tremendous, Moriel. You sort of, to me, represent the real fun part of science, where you're so enthusiastic about presenting, and you do it in such a funny way, but at the same time, people, they can't help but learn the physics lesson which is involved. And I also love the one where you have is it a tennis ball in a stockings which you're throwing back and forth to illustrate Doppler?
Right. Yes. This
Yeah.
is the same one.
The same video, yeah.
The same video that I start with in the shower. I also play with the ball in a stocking.
Oh, you start in the shower. Look, she can't help herself, folks. She's in the bath. She's in the shower. I'm surprised she's wearing clothes at all.
But it gets the message across, so
It
that's
does.
great. You know, people start watching from a different reason, and they end up learning. So hey, why not?
I think you've really you accomplishing what you've set out to do, which is fantastic. And you're only young, so you've got a zillion years ahead of you to improve upon what you're doing and get the message out there. So everybody, after the show, please go to www.smarterthanthat.com and then go to www.smartaxe.com. Check out Moriel's videos. They're fantastic, and her sense of humour, I think, really helps carry the message. So, Moriel, thank you very much for talking to the Skeptic Zone today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for everything you're doing. This is a great podcast. Keep it up.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'll see you at TAM.
Oh, yeah. With a cake.
A cake and a pie and a bathtub. The Skeptic, the magazine from Australian skeptics, now in its 29th year, is about to come out for the month of June. Now, in this issue, we have a rare interview with actor and skeptic Stephen Fry, a disturbing report on the activities of the Australian anti-vaccination network. Is breast really best? We look for ghosts in Adelaide, visit the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival, hear about the young Australian skeptics, and find out what happened to the fake Pope-mobile. A lot more too, including the return of the skeptical crossword. Now, if you're not a subscriber to the Skeptic magazine, head to www.skeptics.com.au, click on the journal link, and you can subscribe by there. The Skeptic, the Journal of Australian Skeptics. And if I may, some of you may know that I'm somewhat of an origami expert, and together with my good friend Gary Clark, we've released video origami onto iTunes for iPod Touch and iPhone. Go to iTunes and search for video origami. It's only a couple of dollars, and you can get started folding straight away.
Calling all skeptics in Christchurch, New Zealand. Now you too can enjoy the worldwide craze that is Skeptics in the Pub. Just head to the Twisted Hop on the second Monday in June to meet other like-minded drinkers and thinkers. All the details can be found at meetup.com/Christchurch-skeptics-in-the-pub. So turn up, drink up, and tell them the Skeptic Zone sent you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Skeptic Zone. Join us again next week, where we'll give you a full report about our trip to Melbourne, Dr. H.E., myself, Kylie Sturgis and Dave the Happy Singer, where we meet up with the young Australian skeptics and give our Saturday night talk, Saturday the 30th. In fact, if you're listening to this on Friday the 29th or Saturday the 30th and you're in Melbourne, you still have time to come and join us. Head to www.skepticzone.tv for details. Until next week, this is Richard Saunders signing off from Sydney, Australia.
You've been listening to the Skeptic Zone. Visit our website at www.skepticzone.tv for comments, contacts, and extra video reports.
The Skeptic Zone.